Even before arriving for the Formula One testing and the first race in Bahrain, Mercedes knew it needed to change its approach with the car concept. The new season has been tough for the German manufacturer, with Red Bull's dominant team proving to be too strong. After qualifying for the season opener in Bahrain, Mercedes boss Toto Wolff admitted that they were already abandoning their design concept and starting from scratch. Some people thought they were making a hasty decision, but it turns out Mercedes had already known for weeks that something had to change. Trackside engineering director Andrew Shovlin revealed that Mercedes realized they had reached the limits of the W14 in the wind tunnel, and improvements were not coming as easily as they hoped. You can look at your development rates in the wind tunnel, and before we even got to Bahrain, there were conversations about looking at bigger departures. That's not looking at it in isolation for this year's car development, it's something we've done over the course of the last 10 years. If you're not finding the gains you need, you make a bigger change. You explore another area and often you want to unlock that. That had already happened before Bahrain. But perhaps the urgency to try and bring those bits to the track has gone up following the early races, explained Shovlin. Mercedes is making some big changes early on in the season, with one of the main focuses being a revision to its zero-pod concept. According to Shovlin, the team will need to make significant changes to other areas of the car if they want to have a chance at beating Red Bull. Asked to clarify what Wolff had meant by a change of concept, Shovlin said, "Perhaps we've adopted the word concept to mean side pod. This car is an evolution of the car that we had last year, and a lot of that is tied around where we've got the side impact structure. So now we're looking at bigger departures because it's evident that this hasn't given us the performance that we'd like. Saying that, there's other areas of the car that we know we need to improve as well. It would be very misguided to think if we go and put a different looking side pod on it, all of that gap is going to vanish. The reality is that the vast majority of that gap is going to have to come from other performance areas. We've got a lot of projects at the moment trying to bring performance over the next 5 races," he said. Aside from the overall concept, Mercedes also needs to focus on getting Lewis Hamilton more comfortable with the car. He's currently having trouble with the lack of rear end stability. Shovlin added that there are many areas of the W14 that need improvement, not just for Hamilton, but for George Russell as well. There's things where the car hasn't gotten entry stability, and that means they haven't really got the confidence with it. It can be a bit tricky to bring the tires in, and we're sliding around too much in the high speed. We're taking feedback from both drivers throughout every session, and that's getting fed into the development process. And, ultimately, I think if we improve the car for Lewis, we will improve it for George as well," he said.